Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to True Sim Productions. I am your host tonight, Winston Deal. Welcoming you guys to race number 8 for the All-Star Racing League here at the Hickory Motors Speedway. Qualifying underway right now. We'll get the standings up on the left side of your screen so you guys can see what's going on. This looks like right now Brian Voss in the 55, your points leader, sitting at the top of the standings. We got a good car count here tonight for our 125 lap race at the Hickory Motor Speedway coming into tonight. Just a little bit of race info for you. Brian Voss, the guy at the top of the standings right now, has 3 wins this season. 42 points behind him is Brandon Elvis with 2 wins. Brian Zimmerman's got a win, as well as Chase Robertson also picking up the win at New Smyrna in week 2. So 4 different winners this season, race number 8 so far. And we're underway in qualifying. We'll see if we can get some views around the track. Justin Elvis in the 44 machine, putting in a qualifying effort here. So he sees the white flag. He's going to have one more lap around. Elvis going at 12th quick right now, 14:61, a little bit off the pace. Jonathan Adkins, though, in the 17 machine, knocks Brian Voss off the top spot. A little bit slower on lap number 2. Oh,
like this.
I've got voice chat on. I apologize about that. Let me go to my Be Right Back screen. Forgot to turn the voice chat on from the voice chat off from the racing I did earlier on this week. So there we go. Back to normal. Go to the live screen. There we go. Zach Murphy finishing up his qualifying efforts right now in the 8th spot. Chris Smith making his return to the All-Star Racing League. Haven't seen him in a couple weeks. In the 80 machine, goes around lap number 1, 11th quick with a 14:13. As Daniel Sweat in the 07 goes P12 right behind him. Smith on lap number 2. Picks it up a little bit, knocks his way into the top 10, 9th spot, 14:11. Justin Coleman in the 14 machine, making his way out of turns 3 and 4. Coleman yet to find victory lane this season. Had 5 wins last season with the All-Star Racing League. Having a hard time getting it into victory lane. Will things change here tonight? Lap number 1 for Coleman, 15th quick with a 14:29. See if he can improve on this second lap. Lap number 2 for Coleman in the 14 machine, still in that 15th spot with a 14:17. So Coleman going to be coming from the back here tonight if he wants a victory. But we got about 44 seconds left here in this qualifying session before we send them green flag, feature racing. So it looks like everybody is done with their qualifying efforts, and we're going to go ahead and grab a word from our... Well, I was going to grab a word from our fast qualifier, Jonathan Adkins, but he disappeared the second that I tried to grab him. We'll keep an eye out and see if he's back in there to give us a word, but nonetheless, time's pretty close. A 10th throughout the top 10, so everybody going to be door-to-door racing pretty hard. And as qualifying concludes, we are going to be on the grid and getting ready to go 125 laps of racing here at the Hickory Motors Speedway. Not seeing Jonathan Adkins in voice chat anywhere. So we'll go through our grid rundown right here on the pole. Going to be Jonathan Adkins in the 17 machine. As I mentioned earlier on, Brian Voss going to be rolling off to his outside. Matt Cox puts it on the podium in qualifying. Going to be starting in that 3rd position. Brandon Elvis, the defending champion, starting in the 4th spot. Dalton Creech in the 36th. New paint scheme this week. Going to be rolling off in the 5th position. Making his return to the All-Star Racing League. Haven't seen him this season so far. Owen Zacharias in the 35. Going to be joining us here tonight. Starting in the 6th spot. Back behind him, Brian Zimmerman, winner of the first race at the Rockingham Speedway. Going to be rolling off 7th. Zach Murphy does outside in the 29. Chris Smith in the 80 machine going to be rolling off in the 9th spot. And his outside will be Caleb Thompson in the 04. Row number 6 going to be Larry Bell down low in the 43, starting 11th. And his outside, Daniel Sweat in the 07. Back behind them, Brandon Metler in the 15. Going to be rolling off 13th next to Rob Hattenback in the 99. Then back behind him, Justin Coleman, Justin Elvis, a pair of Justins, the ECR teammates, making up row number 8. And rounding out the field behind them, Chance Sapp in the 16 and James Summers in the 27. So it looks like we've got 18 cars bringing us to the green here tonight. Now, the front of those is Jonathan Adkins in the 17. Adkins so far 4 starts this season, 3 top 5s in those 4 starts, so good numbers from the 17. We'll see if he can do similar things here tonight. And folks, we've qualified, we've paced, we've gotten the white flag. We are all but green flag racing. Let me know who you've got in the chat below, who you're rooting for, what you're here for. Lights are off on Bound Company Racing pace car. The field through the Mr. All-Time Game Racing, or All-Time Game Restart Zone. We are green at Hickory. The green flag is out. Jonathan Adkins, good advantage into turns 1 and 2. He's able to get clear down the back straightaway. Brian Voss in the 55, still trying to make that high side work. Give lap number 1 to Jonathan Adkins in the 17. We'll see what the battle for third has in store as Brandon Elvis looks to be battling at the outside of Matt Cox. He tries to duck low. Back in front of them, though, Jonathan Adkins up top. Brian Voss finds an opening down low. 55 trying to make an early advance here on position, trying to get that lead. Ooh, near contact there. The exit of 4 at Hickory, very, very tight. As they make their way down the back straightaway, still clean and green. As we look back behind them, everybody's starting to single file out. Larry Bell, Daniel Sweat battling back here for the 11th spot. They've got Brandon Metler and Rob Hattenback behind them as well. As everybody tries to settle in behind them, we've got a good battle for the race lead. Brian Voss trying to get that early track position and have some control over this race. We're only 6 laps in, but this race lead early on could, you know, win the race for you later on when you have control of the restarts or, you know, that strategy as well. So Adkins doing good things. The field mostly single file, a couple battles going on later or way back in the field. Right now everybody taking it easy, letting the laps unfold. As Adkins, your race leader, just trying to maintain that gap, keep Brian Voss at bay as Voss peeks to the inside and going into turns 3 and 4. We'll see what he can do. It looks like Adkins is going to be able to use that momentum on the high side to his advantage, and already early on, just from the couple of attempts that we've seen Brian Voss make, it looks like passing is going to be very difficult here tonight at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Got Brian Voss right on his back bumper. They've got a little bit of a breakaway to Matt Cox in the 51 machine. Ooh, Cox in the wall there. Kind of turns 3 and 4, no damage though. But relatively calm start to this 125-lap race. Everybody being pretty patient, understanding that, you know, we got a long way to go. You can't win it in the first lap, but you sure as heck can't lose it here in this beginning segment. Ooh, contact there. Caleb Thompson got into Owen Zacharias in the 35. I think everybody held on to it. But Thompson going to lose a spot here to Daniel Sweat in the 07. Right as I was talking about, you know, everybody taking it easy, being patient, a little bit of contact there. Just about put us over the limit, but everybody did a good job of hanging on to it. Back up front. Adkins still has a comfortable lead over Brian Voss, and I say comfortable only because Brian Voss isn't peeking it to the inside right now. He's been right there the whole race, but he's not really pressuring him by trying to make that pass. He's just staying there and keeping his presence up. Already, time definitely flies here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Laps are very quick. Best lap time from Jonathan Adkins so far, a 14:27, so already 19 in. I believe we are 100% good on fuel. Nobody's really going to have to question that, unless the setup has changed, of course, but I think we are good on fuel. Tires are definitely going to be a big-time strategy game, though. These guys have one set of tires, and it's going to be a matter of when they take them. I think you're going to have to take tires this race. You're going to have to take tires this race, but it's going to be when will you take them. And I think track position is going to be the most important thing in this race. So having control of this race lead, like Jonathan Adkins has right here, is going to play a big role later on in the race. Oh, Jonathan Adkins spins in front. No, what happened there? I don't think there was contact. We'll take another look and see if we can see what happened. I don't believe there was contact with the 55 of Voss. Oh, it looks like there was right off the nose. Just the slightest bit of contact. We'll take another look at it. See if we can't look from up above. Right here, up in the chopper camera, you see right there just, oh, the slightest little nudge. I think Voss might have expected Adkins to get up off the corner a little bit quicker than what he did. But under caution for the first time, Adkins going to be pitting from what was the race lead, now currently scored in the 18th spot. Final car on the lead lap. He is into the pits, most likely getting some of that damage repair on the right front. He's going to take his right side tires as well. So we'll have 100 laps to go on these right side tires, but coming into the pits is Adkins. Here comes Brian Voss as well in the 55, also on pit road, getting right side tires. A little bit different strategy than what I thought we were going to see originally. I thought we would have at least gone to lap 60 before we got tires, but I think since Brian Voss and Jonathan Adkins know that they have to go to the back, that's probably why they're going down pit road. Just get the tires while you're at the back and leapfrog the rest of the field. But we've only got 25 laps-ish on our tires, and I don't know if that's going to be enough to really put these guys at any disadvantage. But we will see. Voss and Adkins going to be coming from 17th and 18th place. 26 laps in. Matt Cox, Brandon Elvis through the restart zone. We're back racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Matt Cox, your race leader, battling with Brandon Elvis. Elvis trying to make the top side work. Looks like Cox going to have the advantage, though, out of turns 3 and 4. Give the race lead to Matt Cox on lap 28. He goes out front. They're really battling back behind him. Oh, we've got a big pile up on the back straightaway. Zach Murphy involved. Owen Zacharias in the 35 as well. Not quite sure what happened, but we'll take another look. I think the 35 might have... Oh, he just got right into the 29's back bumper and nowhere for anybody on that inside lane to go. The 27 barely slid in there. James Summers. Get another view. Jonathan Adkins in the 17. This is back behind the incident, but your previous race leader just barely getting through that one with no contact. Good miss there. As we go on board with Jonathan Adkins right here. Ooh, Hattenback in the 99 just about tagged him, but luckily able to avoid any trouble right there. So Adkins going to gain 6 spots and already be back up to the 11th spot. A couple guys coming down pit road though. Zach Murphy, James Summers, Caleb Thompson down pit road. Owen Zacharias came down pit road, actually lost the lap down on pit road. So the 35 machine going to be the first car a lap down. But Matt Cox, your race leader in the 51 machine, got a nice jump on that restart and was able to get out in front of Brandon Elvis. We'll see what he can do on this next one. Matt Cox coming into tonight's race, 12th in the point standings. Missed one race, I think last week actually missed at Southern National. He's got 1 top 5, 2 top 10s so far this season. A good run going for him here tonight. And the guy to his outside, Brandon Elvis, he's second in the points right now. He really needs a victory, and you know, Brian Voss in the 55 to have a not top 3 night if he wants any shot at going back up through the to the points lead. But we're back racing. Matt Cox, Brandon Elvis battling good in turns 3 and 4 right here. Elvis going to put up a bid on the top side. Race leader at the line that time was Brandon Elvis, so new leader 35, Brandon Elvis in the 54. Trying to make that top side work, but here comes Matt Cox fighting back on the bottom. At the line this time, it'll be Cox getting the better of Brandon Elvis in the 54. It looks like that inside lane is starting to shuffle ahead just a little bit down the back straightaway. These two fighting real good here. Lap 36 up across the nose. Matt Cox goes. Slide job back underneath. Here comes Brandon Elvis in the 54. These guys are racing real good here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Down the back straightaway. Elvis down low. Cox up top. Here comes Creech and Zimmerman trying to make it a 4-car race for the race lead. As it looks like Elvis has a comfortable nose out front. He's going to be able to clear Matt Cox. And the caution flag flies. I think Zach Murphy out back gets turned around again. Not the start that Zach Murphy wanted it in the 29. Oh, got into the corner a little bit too hot and tapped into the back bumper of Chance Sapp, and around he went. But great battling there. We'll get a replay of that really quick. That was a great battle going on in the top 5. Replay of that race we saw from the get-go right there. Elvis and Cox side by side, back and forth. The best move that I saw right there was when Cox slid up the racetrack. I think it was right here. Elvis was not afraid to cut back underneath and fill that gap. Split the difference right there. Just great, clean racing here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. These guys doing a great job. So a new race leader once again, 3rd leader tonight. Brandon Elvis going to be at the top of the board, or sorry, in the top spot. As we are just about to the halfway point. So I believe the field going to be doubling up behind the Bad Company Racing pace car, as they are right there. So it'll be Matt Cox and Brandon Elvis once again, but this time it's Brandon Elvis in the 54 in the race lead. Bad Company Racing pulls off. The Bad Company Racing pace car pulls off. We're through the restart zone and back racing at Hickory. Elvis got a good jump that time, not wasting any time getting out to the race lead. Back behind him, though, everybody trying to get single file as quickly as they can. Chris Smith underneath Daniel Sweat for the 5th spot. Smith down low, Sweat up top. Coleman and Mettler battling pretty good behind them as well, and it looks like that top lane just gets such a big run off the corner. It's hard for these guys to keep up on the bottom side. Ooh, contact right there. Smith trying to hang on to it. He's going around on the bottom of the racetrack. Caution flag is out. We saw it all unfold right there. Go on board with Smith in the 80 machine. Yeah, just got a little bit tight off the bump right there and slides it down into the inside wall. So Chris Smith spinning out off the door of Daniel Sweat in the 07, puts us under yellow once again here for the 4th time at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Just shy of 50 laps in. We're going to take a quick step away and we will return when we're back racing. Be right back on True Sim Productions. We're back here on True Sim Productions. About to go back racing once again on lap 51 out of 125. About 10 laps shy of the halfway mark into tonight's race. Still got 17 cars on the lead lap. Owen Zacharias in the 35 calling it tonight. As the pace car pulls off through the Mr. All-Time Gaming restart zone, we are back racing once again. Brandon Elvis, your race leader, gets a good jump. Matt Cox trying to make the outside lane work, though. Looks like he's going to fall back in line. Dalton Creech, Brian Zimmerman sorting things out as well. These top 4 right here have gotten single file pretty quick. Look who is already making moves back through the field. You see right there, Jonathan Adkins, Brian Voss making their way back up inside of the top 10 already. So they're going to be out for the rest of the race. This track position that they're gaining right here, I'm assuming the rest of the field is going to want to pit for tires at some point in the race. As Brandon Elvis sets the fastest lap of the race in the 54 machine. Elvis got out to the race lead. He's got a comfortable-ish gap over Matt Cox right now. 51 not really putting too much pressure on Elvis in the 54. As Adkins once again trying to move forward in the 17 machine. He's got Brandon Mettler down low. Adkins a pole sitter in this race. Remember, he got caught up in a spin off the nose of Brian Voss in the 55. Because it looks like he's going to be able to use that outside lane and get the advantage on Mettler in the 15. Brian Voss moves by Larry Bell behind him. We'll see if he can sneak up to the outside and keep Brandon Mettler held down. Looks like he does. Nice job by Brian Voss right there to keep Brandon Mettler pinned down, not able to get up to the wall. As it looks like he does fall back in line. As up front, Dalton Creech trying to move up underneath Matt Cox for the second spot. Looks like he's got the advantage at the line. Dalton Creech has had bad luck all season long. Not a single top 5 finish so far. Trying to change that here tonight in the second spot right now. It looks like Matt Cox in the 51 might be having some connection issues. Popping in and out. Hopefully these guys can steer clear of him. Justin Coleman right now, big mover tonight, up 11 spots so far, working underneath Brian Zimmerman in the 28 for the third spot. He started back in the 15th spot. He's already up in the top 5 as we are just past the halfway mark. So give the Coleman Design halfway leader to Brandon Elvis in the 54. Matt Cox, after that trouble, falling back to the 8th spot right here. I think he's settling in, not blinking too much right now, but definitely lost some positions right there. But look who's back into the top 5. Jonathan Adkins in the 17, already back up past the halfway point. He's got those fresher right side tires as well as Brian Voss in the 55. But we will see what unfolds. These guys are racing pretty hard right here, and I think the both of them know whichever one of these two can get through the field first is going to have control towards the end of the race, and it might look like they're battling for 5th and 6th right now. Really, they are battling for maybe the race lead, so definitely going to be an important position for the 55 of Brian Voss as he slips up a little bit, falls back. I think he's going to try and save some right side tire here. Looked like what he did right there. Fell off quite a bit. 5/10 difference between them, their last laps. Justin Coleman once again trying to fight for that 3rd spot. Coleman down low. Here comes Jonathan Adkins up top in the 17. Trying to catch Coleman sleeping here. And that outside lane just working so well for Adkins right there. You see him just able to use that top side and keep his momentum going. Brian Voss in the 55 sitting right there in the catbird seat. Trying to figure out which lane he's going to go with. Justin Coleman putting up a pretty good fight, though. So we're almost 75 laps into this one. So 3/5 of the way through tonight's race. Justin Coleman, Jonathan Adkins battling for the 4th spot. Coleman washed up the racetrack right there, nearly contact on the exit of turns 3 and 4, but I think Jonathan Adkins is going to have the advantage here. Looks like he does. He's just able to keep that momentum up, and I think Coleman's starting to put some heat into that right front tire that he's not wanting to put there. But this is going to be interesting. Is the later the next caution happens, assuming that we get one, the fresher these guys who come to pit, their tires are going to be. So, oh, Brian Voss harder than the outside wall in the 55. These these guys continue to battle. Race leader Brandon Elvis has got Dalton Creech hot on his tail. These guys have broken away from Brian Zimmerman in the 28 just a little bit. So here comes Jonathan Adkins making a move for the third spot. Adkins trying to use the bottom side. He's been up on the top side claiming victims, and now he's up on the back bumper of Brian Zimmerman trying to find a way to the bottom side. We are 80 laps in next time around. Zach Murphy in the 29 machine. He's trying to make his way back up into the top 5. As Brandon Elvis continues to lead this one. Dalton Creech has been right there on his back bumper the whole time, though, matching lap times lap after lap. It'll be interesting to see if Creech has anything for him if he does get up to that back bumper. Passing's been really difficult here tonight, so we'll see if anybody is able to do anything. Here comes Brian Voss, though, battling with Jonathan Adkins. He's got an opening to the outside. Can he hold the 17 down? We will see. Battle for the 4th spot. Voss up top in the 55. Adkins down low. Give the advantage to Brian Voss. Caution flag is out. They are wrecking. Caleb Thompson is upside down in turns 3 and 4. Not quite sure what happened. We'll take another look. Looked like they were starting to wreck in turns 1 and 2. It looks like 3 wide into turns 3 and 4. Thompson up the racetrack. Oh, hard into the wall. It looks like Elvis and Thompson might have gotten hooked together there. We'll take another look from up above. But I think going into turns 3 and 4 right here, you see Thompson and the 44 make a little bit of contact right there, and it looks like they just get hooked together, and there's nothing either of the cars can do. They're both trying to turn left, and they're both going right. So, unfortunate. Gonna probably sideline Caleb Thompson's chances of a good finish here tonight. So, under caution for a 5th time. A good green flag stretch right there. But pit stop's gonna be happening. And once again, almost for the second week in a row, Brandon Elvis going to stay out. And I think if you're out on lap 88 right here, you're going to be committing for the race. You're 100% staying out for the remainder of our 125 lap race. So a couple guys not electing to come down pit road. The ECR teammates, the 54 Brandon Elvis and the 14 Justin Coleman, have not came down to pit road to get some fresh Hoosier tires on. So very interesting strategy we're going to see here, but what will it be? Will it be Brian Voss, your points leader, in the 55, or Brandon Elvis in the 54? We've seen this before. In fact, it was last week at Southern National that we saw this, and that was one of the better races of this season. Those two battled very closely. 4 cars were under a blanket for the top spot. We'll see what we can do here at Hickory. Setting him back, green flag racing with 35 to go. Brandon Elvis leads. Brian Voss second. Ooh, looks like Elvis might have missed a shift right there. That's going to allow Voss to sneak back in. Voss battling up top, side by side down the back straightaway. Elvis goes in hard down low. Voss trying to make the outside work. Old tires versus new. His contact off the corner. These guys are racing really hard. They know that the lead right here means a lot. Door banging through the corner. Elvis up the racetrack a little bit. Brian Voss holding them tight in the 55. These guys are really racing good here at Hickory. 92 laps in. As they're shuffling it for position back behind him as well. Give the race lead to Brian Voss off the corner that time. Looks like the outside lane's starting to get an advantage here. The tires are getting hot on the 54. Just trying to roll the bottom the best he can and keep that momentum wound up, but give the race lead to Brian Voss. He's going to be clear down the back straightaway right here. So new leader out in front, Brian Voss. Justin Coleman, though, in the 14, trying to battle for the second spot. Here comes Dalton Creech trying to throw his name into the mix as well. And Dalton Creech just came down and got tires. He's got fresh tires on the 36. So if he can get up through the field, he might be looking at a shot at Brian Voss in the 55, as his tires are well old as well. So the battle for the second spot right here. The ECR teammates trying to figure out which one's going to go. They're kind of boxing in the 36 machine of Dalton Creech, though. The 14 of Coleman slips up. Here comes Dalton Creech to the inside. Elvis trying to defend, but here comes Creech in the 36. The fresh tires down low. They're 3 wide back behind him. Chris Smith thought about peeking underneath Brian Zimmerman. But back up to the battle for the second spot. Dalton Creech is right there, trying to get the advantage on Brandon Elvis. Elvis is making the top side work for now. Ooh, contact between the two. Elvis up the track a little bit. Here comes Creech with a nose out. Give the second spot to Dalton Creech with 25 laps to go. 25 to go at the line. Dalton Creech is up into the second spot. Back behind him, Jonathan Adkins on the outside of Justin Coleman. He's trying to make a late race charge here as well. Rob Hattenback in the 99 right there, too, in the 6th spot. Everybody is side by side here at Hickory. 24 laps to go at the line. 3 wide in the 1 and 2 right there. Chris Smith on the bottom underneath Murphy and Metler. Looks like Metler was able to back out and clear that situation. But it is a great race here inside the top 5. Or sorry, inside the top 10. Oh, Jonathan Adkins gets tagged. Adkins goes around. He goes around for the second time here tonight. We'll take another look at what happened. I think it was Brian Zimmerman in the 28. They got into the back bumper and sent him right around. Zach Murphy almost going around as well. Oh, it looks like he does end up going around for the 3rd time here tonight. Unfortunate. But look right there. Brian Voss, your race leader. Inside of 20 laps to go. 6 caution flags so far. Justin Coleman going to come down, get some fresh tires on the 14. We'll see what he can do here, as they're going to be under 20 laps to go. So Justin Coleman coming down to get some right side tires. I think he missed his pit bogs last time around, actually. But right side tires for Justin Coleman. But the story right here, Dalton Creech with fresh tires in the 36. Rob Hattenback with fresh tires in the 99. The 80 of Chris Smith has fresh tires. And Brian Voss and Brandon Elvis do not. Remember, Brian Voss and Jonathan Adkins came down to get tires on lap 24. Brandon Elvis has not came down and got tires at all this race, so those are the same tires that he has from the start of the race. So the grip got to be starting to fade on the 54 machine. But 19 to go, make it 18 at the line this time. We're going to be sending him green in a couple laps here. Things are going to be heating up, though. 6 caution flags so far. Hopefully we can keep it green for the most part till the end. I'm sure we'll see some banging, beating him banging, and maybe some bumper tag, but the lights are off. We're getting ready to go. So Brian Voss, Dalton Creech through the Mr. All-Time Gaming restart zone. We are back racing at Hickory. Voss got a good jump that time. Was able to get clear of Dalton Creech and Brandon Elvis. Now Dalton Creech battling with Brandon Elvis down low. He's going to have to keep the 54 pinned down there and not let him use up too much racing room. It looks like he's going to be able to get clear. So move the 36 back comfortably into the second spot. He's going to have to set his sights on Brian Voss, though. 15 laps to go at the line. Brandon Mettler moving up inside of the top 5, battling with Rob Hattenback in the 99. You see them on the top of your screen right there. Dalton Creech closing into the back bumper of Brian Voss in the 55. Could he be looking at his first win of the season? He's going to have to work for it here. 13 to go at the line. And Dalton Creech is right there. A little bit quicker that last time around. About a 10th, actually, to the inside. Here comes Dalton Creech in the 36. Dalton Creech right there all over the back bumper of Brian Voss. 12 to go at the line. He's going to try and build up runs here to have some shot at the inside lane. Oh, as they're wrecking behind, Matt Cox gets tagged. I think he kept it straight, though. The green flag remains out. Here comes Dalton Creech looking to the inside once again. And Voss doing a good job holding that top side and keeping the momentum. All he's got to do is hold that top side, not let Dalton Creech get too far along to the inside. If Dalton Creech can get a run built up. Here comes Chris Smith looking to the inside of Brandon Elvis for the second spot. 9 to go at the line. What can Dalton Creech do? He's got a little bit fresher tires and a little bit more speed, but he's got to find a way around the 55 of Brian Voss. And oh, Chris Smith gets tagged. That one's going to bring out the caution flag. We're going to re-rack him and restack him as Chris Smith goes around in turns 1 and 2. Rob Hattenback involved as well. I think he's the one that got him in the 99. We'll take another look here going into turns 3 and 4. Yep, right into the center of the corner. A little bit of contact. And around they went. So Chris Smith going to be going to the back after that one. He's scored in the 11th spot right now. 7 to go. We'll see if we can't grab a word from our second place, or our driver in the second place spot right now, Dalton Creech. Dalton, you got a copy?
I do.
Oh, you're sitting in the second spot right now. 6 laps to go at the line. We're going to be sending you guys back green. Somewhere around the 3 lap to go mark. What can you do to put the 36 into victory lane here tonight?
I'm fixing to drive my balls off because this will be my first win in a year, or over a year. I have fresher tires than the guys around me, so I came in, pitted, got 2 tires, and hopefully I can try to make it stick on the high side here and get around old Brian Voss. I can't let him win 3 in a row.
Definitely cannot. As you said, fresher tires. It's going to come down to this restart right here. You guys are getting ready to double up, so I'll let you get back to it, but good luck to you.
Yeah, heck yeah, buddy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. That was Dalton Creech, the second place driver right now. He's sitting outside of your points leader, Brian Voss. Voss this season already has 3 wins and the All-Star race on top of that. So technically 4 wins for Brian Voss in the 55. But can Dalton Creech, who's currently in the 9th spot in the points, can he shake things up here and steal the victory at Hickory? We'll find out. We're going to be sending him back to green with 3 laps to go. The lights are off on the Bad Company Racing pace car. And through the Mr. All-Time Gaming restart zone, we are back racing one more time. I think Creech tried to jump the start there a little bit, or at least guess the start with Brian Voss, and might not have done the best job of it right there, but down the back straightaway, he's going to have to battle with Brandon Elvis down low. He's got Elvis down low. 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks are up in the air. What can these guys do? 1 or 2 more circuits around Dalton Creech. Brandon Elvis door banging through turns 1 and 2 that time. And the white flag is out. 1 more lap to go at Hickory. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go. Brian Voss down the back straightaway. He's got a good gap built up. And it'll be Brian Voss once again taking the victory here in the All-Star Racing League at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Brian Voss on another amazing night picks up his 4th victory of the season. And he is going to expand his points lead once again. And once again, Brandon Elvis is going to have to settle for the 2nd spot. So Brian Voss finishing in the top spot here tonight. Brandon Elvis coming home 2nd. And Dalton Creech with his first top 5 and first podium finish of the season. So shout out to the 36 machine. We'll step away for just one moment, and then we'll grab a word from our top 3 competitors, and we will return here on True Sim Productions. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on True Sim Productions. Going to grab a word from our top 3 competitors. So, coming home in the 3rd spot here tonight from... Oh! I was going to try and grab a word from our top 3 competitors, but I don't see anybody in Discord to drag, so we'll stand by on a word from our top 3 competitors, but real quick, we'll just run down a recap of the end of the race there. Great finish at the end there. Everybody was battling for that, back half of the top 5 slash back half of the top 5 slash like top 10. They were all side by side. I do think everybody is up in voice chat here, so we'll grab a word from our 3rd place finisher here tonight, coming from the 5th spot, Dalton Creech, finishing 3rd here tonight. Tell me how your race went, bud.
I'm very proud of how tonight went. I screwed my freaking restart up. BV playing restart games, and he caught me sleeping. But nah, man, it was a good race. This setup was fantastic. Absolutely great setup by Shot Guy this week. Shout out to BV on his 3rd win in a row. Shout out to Brandon for besting me right there at the end. But I'm happy. I'm happy with how tonight went for sure. I thought tonight was an awesome race.
Yeah, your first top 5 of this season. I was mentioning that you're having some pretty bad luck all season long, and it's got to feel great coming into tonight and getting not just a top 5, but a podium to kind of swing the momentum in this second half of the season. And speaking of second half of the season, next week we go to USA. That's a little bit different track than what we've seen the past 3 weeks in the Bull Ring, Southern National, and Hickory. What's your game plan going into USA as we kind of mix it up a little bit?
Be fast, save tires, and hopefully win a race. I believe I'm the only one in the league that has experience actually on track at Lakeland. So I think I'm going to try to use that as best I can for the race. But that one should be a fun one too. You definitely burn a lot of tires, so saving tires is going to be a big one there.
Yeah, tires is always a pretty interesting game that we watch here in the All-Star Racing League. It was a pretty fun one tonight. We had 3 finishers in the top 3 with 3 completely different tire strategies, so I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yes.
Thing there as well. But before we wrap things up, anybody that you have to thank that helped get you on the podium here tonight?
Yeah, for sure, definitely my wife, because she puts up with me doing this week in and week out. I actually got my paint and wrap company on the hood of this new car, brand new car that I've only raced this one time in one of the league. This is the first time in All-Star. But DC Studios, if you're looking for a paint scheme or whatever, hit me up, and I'll get you rolling on something nice.
Alrighty, that car looked pretty good. I mentioned that, brand new paint scheme, new, as you said, new rebranding for you and getting your new company out. And it must have been good luck here tonight putting you on the podium.
Yeah, man, I got the grip packs turned on this paint scheme, man.
You got around the anti-cheat that they just installed too. Lucky you. Oh,
yeah, man.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Dalton, on your top 3 finish here tonight.
Thank you, buddy.
Alrighty, folks, that was your 3rd place finisher, Dalton Creech. Now we're going to grab a word from the bridesmaid himself. Brandon Elvis, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, once again in the 2nd spot here tonight. You led a pretty good amount there at the end of the race, just a little bit less tires than the rest of the guys there at the end.
Yeah. I don't know if it was so much tires. It was more of just not being able to keep the track position, really. I mean, if I would have got a good restart, that restart Brian was on outside of me there. I missed 2 shifts on the same straightaway. So if I could have got a good jump on him there, I think I probably could have held him off, honestly. But I just played the hand I was out. I probably should have hit on lap 32 or 33, whatever that caution was. Probably should have came in and just got tires there and saved them. Or, I mean, Dalton showed that taking them there towards the end was a good strategy too. So I don't know. By the time I would have done it, it would have only been like 15, 20 to go, and I don't think I could have got back to the field.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of different tire strategy played right there throughout the field, and we saw some pretty good battling in the top 5 and throughout the top 10 as well. You started here tonight in the 4th spot, not on the front row, which we've been seeing you and Brian Voss in the front row, I think, every freaking race, past 3 races.
Not the last one, but before that, for sure.
Yeah, before that last one, I forgot about the 25 car coming in there, but you guys are usually on the front row. Tonight you got kind of shuffled back a little bit. Jonathan Adkins came in and stole the pole late, but you guys still ended up 1-2 once again. Anybody you guys think that helped this happen?
Yes, my wife, Burial's Performance and Fab, Chestnut Hill Restaurant, Shot Guy Racing Performance, Coleman Design, BH Homes Construction, Parker Brothers Winnison, and Gibbs Brothers Construction, WD Broadcasting, doing a good job, All-Star Racing League, Dalton and the gang, and the merge with Crookline, having a good time. We had a good field tonight, man.
Yeah, it was a good field, and should be a pretty good field next week. We go to USA. That's one of my favorite tracks, and hopefully it's some other favorite tracks as well. What are your thoughts going into a little bit of a change in racetrack next week?
I just hope I can get the job done, man. we have pointed tonight on Brian, but hopefully I want to win.
Oh yeah, definitely. You guys are almost even. He's got a little bit of an advantage on you now. He's got 4 to your 2. So you got to come back. You got some races to do it though, but I think you can do it.
Oh yeah, I think so too, man. We got a good few racetracks coming up here soon, and really looking forward to it.
Alrighty, well, Brandon, congratulations to you on your 2nd place finish here tonight, and we wish you luck throughout the rest of the season.
Thanks, Winston. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, folks, that was Brandon Elvis, driver of the number 54 machine, coming home in the 2nd spot once again here tonight, and talk to our winner. Once again, his 4th victory, 5th if you count the All-Star race. Brian Voss, you got a copy.
Yes, sir. Winston, gotcha.
Once again, you snuck in there, and the thing I'm enjoying about these victories is they're getting less and less and less dominant every time, and you're just sneaking into victory lane. It's getting exciting watching the 55 maneuver his way through the field, but you got to be feeling good after another victory.
Yeah, man, the competition's elevating every week. These guys they all got speed, and now they're figuring out how to sustain it and wrap corners and save tires, and it's definitely been a handful. But I'm proud to get the win again. I hate what happened early in the race with Jonathan. He had good speed, definitely showed in qualifying, and thought I was a little bit better than him. It's really tough to say if he was just wrapping corner to protect tires or whatnot. And the setup is so good that just that one little slip up, kind of on throttle most of the time. So that one little slip up, and then the person just can't react quick enough if you're right on their bumper. I just hate that happen. I apologize quickly to him. I've just never won a race like that, so I hate that.
Yeah, just a little bit of Rubbins racing at Hickory. You know how tight it is and how quick things can happen here. And luckily, you were able to avoid all the mess there at the end. You and Adkins made your way through a pretty big wreck on the back straightaway, and luckily you were able to keep the 55 machine clean here tonight and on the top spot.
Yeah, so we just kind of had to play the hand that we were dealt there. Get put to the back. Actually, I was already coming to the back. I said, it's on me, it's on me. Like I said, I just hate doing, when stuff like that happens, and I'm the culprit. But with that happened, just came down, went ahead and got some tires on it, tried to put some fuel in it. I still don't think I put enough than what I needed, because it still got a tight balance at the end. It was just super snug on long runs. But yeah, we got through the field. Jonathan and I about got him again in turn one. I said, let me just stay off of this guy. Luckily, I got an opportunity to get to him on the top, and we held it on. And it's fun racing with Brandon, and I really thought Dalton had us there at the end. He had a ton of speed.
Yeah, Dalton really came out of he shot out of a cannon there. Thought he might have pit a little bit too late. Those guys came down on lap 86, and I mentioned this earlier. You came down on lap 24. Dalton came down on lap 86, and Brandon didn't come down at all. So a lot of different tire strategy played here tonight, and definitely made for a little bit more of an exciting race.
Absolutely. I think it's a lot of it's just situational. We had some success early in the year just having that track position and clean air on the nose and didn't have to abuse the tires too much. But when something like that, you get put to the back or a track position is a thing, and you think a lot of guys are coming behind you, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and duck down and get tires. And the guy that's leading the race, he's just a sitting duck. He just hopes for the best. And unfortunately, the last 2 weeks that's been Brandon with equal tires. I think he would be probably talking to you right now in victory lane.
Yeah, he's had a lot of speed these past couple weeks, and we've seen him leading with 40, 30, 20, 10 to go even, and just barely get the win snatched at the end. But Brian, this season you've had 7 races, 8 now, with 7 top 10s where you've only finished outside of the top 10 one time. What can you do, these last 4 races to finish out this crazy success of a season?
Just kind of keep doing the same old. Just worry about short run speed, and then if you feel like we find that pretty early in the practice session, then work on long run speed. Just see where the balance goes on the tires, and just hope you get that track position, and just make the right decisions. Which we've been fortunate. Everything's kind of came into our favor at the end of these races, especially the last 2 weeks. Big picture points, I actually think Brandon may have got more points tonight with the fastest lap, leading the laps, and no incidents. I got Jonathan, I got a 2X. So the way the point structure works here, I think he might have outpointed us tonight. And going into next week, I'm actually going to miss. The wife and I's got a concert, so previous obligations got to make her happy. It's our first date night since the baby. So Brandon, he's going to close this thing right up real quick.
Alrighty, well, it sounds like you're setting us up for a pretty exciting points battle at the end of the season here. But regardless, another victory here tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir, and as always, thank you for what you do. Phenomenal job. Barry, Elvis, all-star, Crooked Line for merging together. It's been a lot of fun this season. A good group of guys. Look forward to racing with them every week. The rest goes without said. Jay Bird, Teddy Bear, Dave Gall watching at home. We'll just keep it short. You know what we're going to do. We're going to get some beer money, and we're going to celebrate. Beer money for the crew.
Always. We've gotten so much beer money for the crew this year. It's crazy. We're going to buy the beer factory soon.
I'd say, man, we're just happy the cops don't show up at these tracks. We might be in some trouble, might not make another race.
Oh, my. Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Brian Voss, on your 4th victory of the season.
Thanks, listen.
Alrighty, folks, that was Brian Voss. Always fun to talk to him up here in the booth. So much beer money for the crew this year. I kind of got used to him saying that word for word last season when he won those last couple races throughout the season. But this season, I think I actually have that memorized word for word. and he's got it down pretty good as well. So shout out to the 55 machine and Brian Voss for his victory here tonight. But I think that's going to do it for us here up in the booth at True Sim Productions. I'm your host, Winston Deal. Thank you guys for tuning in to tonight's race and the rest of the All-Star Racing season. If you want to go back and check out some of the races that you missed, check it out on the YouTube channel here, and go back and look at some of the great battles that we've had throughout the season. And tune in to our next 4 races as we wrap up season number 3 of the All-Star Racing League with Lakeland, North Wilkesboro, Lanier, and Five Flags. A couple of cool races finishing out the season. And like I said, I am your host, Winston Deal. Folks, thanks for watching. That'll do it here on True Sim Productions. Till next time, peace.